Good morning everyone, welcome to a market review video. In this video I'll be going over Bitcoin, Ethereum, maybe a few altcoins if I have the time or if anything looks interesting to me. In these videos this is just looking at the charts in real time and just giving my thoughts and opinions on the current price action here. So let's start off with Bitcoin. This is the trading range that I've been using for quite a while now. I've talked about it in a lot of my previous videos. So I don't want to get too much into detail about, where my range high and range low is, the actual prices. But what we're seeing now from Bitcoin is a slow bleed back down to the equilibrium, which is not a good look whatsoever for a few reasons. So let me explain. So we saw the bounce from the equilibrium towards the range high, attempted to close above the range high, which is a pretty nice fake out actually, reclaim the range high, and now we are back down to the equilibrium. This is like the cleanest bearish retest we've seen in weeks that has actually played out. So it's unfortunate I missed this one, but my thinking for, I guess I could say even the current price action, is there's a lot of untapped liquidity up here, which definitely makes these short arguments a bit more difficult. So what I'm saying is there's a lot of untapped liquidity here, right? We didn't see a wick up that got that liquidity. This is all resting liquidity. So let's imagine that people are in short positions, maybe from, I don't know, wherever they're short from, when they have a tight stop, they move their stop down because they're in profit now above these highs. That's going to be a perfect target for a move up and a sweep of those highs. Okay, so that kind of complicates my bearish arguments a little bit. Now, when there's clean highs and lows, it doesn't necessarily mean price is going to go there 100% of the time, but price is going to be more attracted to those areas, if that makes sense. It's kind of like a magnet. Okay, so let's say we do not sweep the range highs. What I'm looking for then is a move down towards, or I'm sorry, a move down below the equilibrium, reclaim it as resistance. So I'm looking for maybe an hourly close below with a retest if possible. To break such a significant level, kind of like right in here, we clearly didn't see a retest, right? But regardless, I'll be looking for a low time frame, short signals, and hopefully getting into a short position, probably something like this is what I'll be taking. That looks decent. Yeah, maybe something like this is what I'll be taking. So again, what I'm looking for is just a sell off to here, retest, maybe even consolidate for a few hours. That would be ideal, but we'll see what happens. But yeah, that's essentially what I'm looking for. And then my take profit one will be here. And the reason why a lot of people are targeting, the 17.3, 17.2K area on Twitter, I'm sure you've seen those charts everywhere, is just because of this consolidation block right here, right? So because price consolidated down there for so long, plus that consolidation led to such a significant local top, or such a significant move that ended up being our local top, price should respect that area as support on the way down. But with saying that, this range is basically a 3% range, which is like $600 nowadays. So saying that it should, bounce somewhere in here is not necessarily helpful. What we're trying to look for when price does get down there, if price does get down there, we're looking for, a series of higher lows, something like this, right? And then we can enter into a long position, or we're looking for just like an under over pattern. So if we were to sell off something like this, consolidate down here, reclaim, something like that, that's also what we're looking for. That would work. But I think a big mistake people make is setting very low bids and hope to get filled on a wick, and then price immediately reverses from there. That can just absolutely destroy your bankroll, and it's really just not worth it. There's really no point in getting this bottom tick entry for a long or a top tick entry for a short. It's just not worth it at all. You could just wait for the retest or short a little bit later, right? I didn't get a retest of this diagonal to short, right? It got front ran a little bit. I was not necessarily, what's the word I'm looking for? I wasn't paying attention, I guess, enough to the chart to short something like this, also because of that untapped liquidity, which I talked about, but I wasn't paying attention enough to short this. Again, that's fine, doesn't really matter. There's going to be another trade when the equilibrium breaks. Will I be able to get filled? Maybe, maybe not. And if I don't, there's going to be another trade. Maybe it will be on the long side all the way down here. So basically what I'm saying is there's plenty of opportunities to jump into a position when price is already going in that direction, right? So there's really absolutely no need to rush into any position. And if you miss it, you miss it. So what? Just move on to the next trade and everything will be fine. I know a lot of people just stress out on trying to, oh my goodness, should I long here? Should I short here? What's going on? But I think it's important to stay cool, calm, and collected. And if you miss a trade, you miss a trade. Doesn't really matter. So for Ethereum, we have flipped this consolidation period into resistance, or we are in the process of doing that right now, which is a major concern, essentially for the same reason of what I talked about for the 17.2 or 3K area for Bitcoin, right? This consolidation period led to a significant move up that also happened to be our local top. So for that reason, you should see price, consolidate around here for a bit or chop around this area before deciding which direction to go, because it's such a significant area, right? And as you can see, we're chopping around this area. We blew right through it. We consolidated below it, blew right through it, attempted to bounce from it, and right now we could see that we are currently rejecting from it on lower time frames. Okay, so that's something to be on the lookout for as well. If this does get rejected, I would probably look for a move down. Yikes, that chart is quite ugly. Probably look for a move down to like 518, 520. I think that would be a really clean level for the same exact reason. I mean, this is the same consolidation period from Bitcoin that led to a significant move up that also happened to be our local top, right? So 518, 520, and you may be asking yourself, okay, then if this consolidation led to a significant move up, then why is this level so important? And this bottom level will be even more important because we consolidated and ranged for a lot longer down here. Okay, so we can expect that price will see a stronger reaction from down here than from right here, right? Because we're not necessarily seeing like a massive reaction from this level whatsoever. I mean, we dumped straight through it on the first attempt. So something like this period should be stronger support on the way down because it consolidated or chopped around before breaking out for 2 days. And right here was 11 hours. Okay, and this is also like the actual bottom. The actual consolidation bottom before the move up, while this consolidation period is just consolidation on the way up. Consolidation under resistance on the way up. It's not as significant. Okay, hopefully that explains that. I'm sure people would have had questions about that. Are any altcoins looking interesting? Wi-Fi, not really. We're at support. Link is just quite the disappointment here. We broke down from this daily diagonal and kind of consolidating below now, which does not look good at all. I'm still pretty bullish on Link for the next year. So we'll see what happens here. Maybe we go down to sub $10. That would be nice. Maybe even $8.40. That would also be nice. But not really any trade opportunities here. I don't really like shorting Link because of how strong, it can move, right? And I guess you could say that for quite literally any altcoin. But for something like Link, I feel like there's such a strong community behind it, and when it gets going, it goes out of nowhere. So I don't really want to short Link. We'll see what happens, but I'm not really the biggest fan of shorting Link. Not really even because I'm bullish on it, but because, like I said, it can just start pumping out of absolutely nowhere, and it does pump hard when it does. But anyway, we are breaking down from that very, very important daily support and resistance flip after already breaking down from the diagonal resistance. So we will see where this leads us. And that's basically everything I want to talk about today. Nothing really looks interesting. My tip for you all is just to stay patient, relax. You don't need to bottom tick a long entry. Just wait for signs of bottoming. I guess I could quickly talk about what I'm looking for too long. And I would say the first thing I'm looking for to long Ethereum is just a reclaim of 570. That's pretty straightforward, right? Because this would basically engulf all of this area that we've been bleeding down for a few hours, reclaim red, and then I would probably long to like 580, 585, maybe even the equilibrium at 600. And for Ethereum, for Bitcoin, I would wait for a reclaim of this diagonal. I mean, the longs are pretty straightforward in my opinion if we do start grinding back up. And again, be on the lookout for a tap of this liquidity. I could really see a move up, maybe, I don't know, quickly sweep that low, something like this. I don't know, something like that. Or we just die. We'll see. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you have any further questions, please feel free to ask. Thank you.